Hi, welcome to Watch the Time and my fall or autumn 2020 state of the collection update. Now, I've done a collection update sort of just at the beginning of lockdown a couple of months ago. Well, it seems a lot longer than that actually, about 3 or 4 months ago. And my collection has changed a fair bit since then. As you know from previous, I've cut my collection down from well over 20 watches to I was trying to keep to 6, but as you will see that's kind of gone out the window. I'm at 10 really, but actually there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's really only 9 what I consider part of my collection, and then there's 2 alternates. I've thought about selling some of these, but I'm liking the collection as it is at the moment. I've got everything covered. I've got my Braille watch now. I've got luxury pieces, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. So I thought I'd just go through each watch one by one. There are individual videos on pretty much all of these on my my channel, my YouTube channel, so you can have a closer look at each individual watch if you so wish. What I'll do is I'll go through one by one, and we'll start with I'll just get this one out of the way first. This is just a little Casio that I've got in for a review. It's actually a great little watch. I'm going to put it on my wrist. There it is on wrist. Yeah, it's a great little watch, and I thought this would make a great sort of holiday GMT watch for people, but it's got a major flaw, which is why I haven't done the YouTube video yet. It works great, it tells time, it's got, I say a couple of different time zones. You can actually track 3 different time zones. It's got all the usual sort of alarm and stopwatch and stuff, but it doesn't have a light, so I can't recommend it as like an everyday watch. I mean, it's a nice small watch. It suits people with smaller wrists. At the end of the day, it's just flawed because it's a Casio without a light. I mean, that's just unheard of, isn't it? I didn't think for 1 minute it wouldn't have a light. I even actually looked at the manual to see if it had it. But yeah, it's not a bad little watch, but no light. I can't recommend it. So moving across, this was my first ever Casio I bought. This is a rebuy, but when I bought it, I did think, it did cross my mind that it was my original watch, because some of the scratches across here looked really familiar to me, and it is identical to my watch. It's the same period, so essentially this was my original Casio. I bought it to go on holiday to Mexico. It cost me £12, and it was still running 12 years later on the original battery that I bought it. The original strap disintegrated, but I finally found an original, the correct strap for this watch. And this is a great watch. It's got the day, the date, the time. It's got a alarm. It's got a dual time function. So you've got home and away time there. You've got a countdown timer, stopwatch. It's got a decent light on it. Yeah, a fantastic little watch for not a lot of money. I have done a review on the sort of new version of this that Casio does. It's about 24 quid. It's a good watch. It's waterproof. 100 meters waterproof is fine for swimming and splashing about. And yeah, great little watch. I don't wear it so much now because it's just one to keep forever. Quickly get this out of the way. The only reason I've kept this in the collection is because I can't get rid of it. It cost me like 20 quid. It's an automatic watch. It's obviously a Rolex homage. They're really cheap and cheerful, but it works. It still runs. I've had it now must be getting on for 2 years. It always bursts into life straight away. It's got lume, but it's not great. It's a bit sporadic, but it's one of those watches. It's like costs virtually nothing. A great little, I think I did the video on this, pulling it out of a Christmas cracker as an idea just to gift someone for Christmas as a bit of a fun, just Christmas gift in a cracker or something like that. Just a fun thing. Then I got my G-Shock. I've got a couple of videos on this. It looks more visible to me than it is on screen, which is a bit odd. There you can see it nicely. I really love this. It's Bluetooth, it's atomic, it's got the combi strap. It's a really comfortable G-Shock. You can pretty much do anything with it. A great light on it, backlight. It's got all the functions, world times, day, alarms, countdown timers, say Bluetooth, atomic. It's got everything you want in a G-Shock really. Yeah, fantastic. fantastic little watch. Tough solar, so never needs a new battery or anything. It just works, and it's always got the right time on it. So you know, I think this one cost me just over 100 quid or something. It's a no-brainer, really. This is a recent addition to the collection, the Citizen Orca, solar, titanium, a Diver 200, you know, proper sort of decent watch for sports, diving, swimming, kayaking, that kind of stuff. It's lightweight because it's titanium, but it's not too light. It's got a really nice integrated rubber strap, which works really nicely. Really, really visible, fantastic loom, great bezel action on this. Everything about it, it's really good, really, and I love the fact that it's the blue one. Great colours. I'm more or less finished. When I bought this, there was a couple of scratches on the crystal, and let's just see, I've been polishing it, and they're pretty much gone now. I don't think you can see them. So the other thing I've done with this watch is I've added value now. This is easily worth more than I bought it for. You know, once it's boxed in what will be virtually mint condition now. Once it's all been cleaned up. I just put this on wrist. Big old chunky watch, but not too big. Wears really comfortably, really nice. And this is one of the things with my watch collection now. All my watches wear comfortably, and that is, you know, I've had watches that I absolutely love. The prime example was the Seiko Monster. I love the look of that watch, but it was just too top heavy, and with the bracelet on, it was too heavy overall. I didn't enjoy it because it just wasn't comfortable for me. That is one of my top priorities now in a watch, is comfort. Something else you'll notice in my collection is I've got a combination of quartz, anodigi, solar, battery, automatic, manual wind, a bit of everything. I'm not a watch snob. I'll happily wear, you know, a 10 quid Casio or a, you know, a $4 Omega. I'm not really worried too much about what it is and what it costs. I love this, and I know this is a, you know, a popular watch. This is obviously the reissue Seiko Arnie. I've done videos about the little screen on there, because they say in the manual that after a few years, I think it's up to 7 years, it starts to fade. But from what I gather from people that have had old ones, it's not an issue, and it might fade, but very gradually. And so I thought I'd buy one and see how we get on with it. So this is getting on for a year old now. Really like it. Again, fits really comfortably. There it is on my wrist. I say it fits nice. It's a big watch. It's nice and legible. Got good features. Got a nice bezel action on it. But the only thing I didn't like about it was the strap. I wasn't keen on it, and it's taken me a while, but I've settled on this NATO now. I haven't got too many NATOs on my watches, so this is one of the few. But really like this. It's almost like my field watch, I suppose. Really, this one. That's kind of how I view it and how I wear it, and really suits nicely on this dark green NATO strap, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, the Seiko Arnie, great little watch, great loom. It's got the backlight on the time, day, date function. You know, yeah, it's a really good. This would make a good everyday watch. You know, if you was I don't know, if you're a bit outdoorsy and you're working outdoors, this would be a great everyday watch. So here we have my little Citizen Promaster diver. Let's just get it going. I finally got it on a strap I really like now, and it's the steel dive strap that came with the 6105 homage, and I think it really suits this watch because the loom has got that green tint to it. The dark green and the black, I think, really go well together, and I think it really suits this watch. This was a watch I got from a second-hand shop locally. It was all beaten up and scratched, and I've got some of the scratches out, and the case was in a bit of a state, and the case back, but I've done a bit of work on it, and I've regulated it. It runs within 2 seconds a day. Actually, all my watches, apart from the Tavis, they all run within 2 seconds a day now. Obviously the quartz do anyway, but they all run within half a second a day. But yeah, this is minus 2 seconds or minus 1.8 seconds a day or something. Yeah, really nice watch, day-date complication, really good loom, good bezel action, nothing fancy, just works. Some say that the movements are a bit noisy in these, but I really like it, really enjoy this watch. It's, again, super comfortable. I actually preferred this over the Seiko SKX and just found it more comfortable. Does the same thing. It's a certified diver, 200 meters water resistance. You ain't got to worry about it. Great beta watch. Yeah, really love this one. 100 quid, and I get, you know, tons of enjoyment out of it. There's still some scratches on the screen. I have had a little go at this, but I haven't polished it properly like I've done the Orca. because I think it's in keeping with this watch that it's a bit beaten up. So next up we have these, a bit of a surprise to me, this one. This was just a watch that I bought to review. The idea was review it and then sell it, but I've decided to keep it because of a couple of reasons. One, it's superb quality. It runs perfectly. This one's running within +2 seconds a day, and it's obviously a homage to the Seiko 6105. I think it's called the Steel Dive 1970. I've now put it on a waffle strap because I think it was too green with the green strap, and I think the black works, it just tones it down a little bit. And you've got this beautiful emerald green dial, which really pops nicely. You've got the lovely green ceramic bezel. It's all fully loomed. I say it keeps perfect time. It's a fantastic little watch. It's a beautiful case design because it's based on a classic Seiko. The only difference being that the 6105, the crown is up a little bit higher. It's at about sort of 10 to 4 if you like, whereas this is more like 10, quarter past 4. But I actually prefer this because it shortens the distance between here and here. This bit here is a bit shorter than on the original one, and I actually prefer the look of it. And again, it's a super comfortable watch. It's just one you can put on. I say it keeps perfect time, and I just love it. So it's staying in the collection. 105 quid, £105 for a brand new watch with a Seiko NH35 movement, sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel. It came with a bracelet which was crap, but don't worry about that. Put it on a waffle, you're laughing. Or a NATO, that'd look good on a NATO. So next up we have the Dan Henry 1963. This is a gift from my partner. It's her birth year, so it's quite a nice gift. Really like the design of the watch. It's a Mecca quartz, I think they call it, or whatever, but it's like a quartz chronograph. Again, I've never a problem with that. You've got a running seconds, and then you've got the chronograph action, which is really quite fun. Just reset it. You got the 12-hour sort of GMT bezel, if that's your thing. Yeah, nice watch. It's accurate, no date. The lume isn't great, but it's got a nice sandwich dial. The sub-dials sometimes look silver, sometimes they look like a champagne colour. Really nice. Come on this really nice leather strap, which I'll just show you. Is patinaing rather nicely, I think. The nice colour changes on it. A bit grubby this one. Yeah, SR71 Blackbird on the back case, which is really nice, and it's a limited edition watch, so they only made 1963 of these, and I know it's never gonna be worth loads and loads of money, but from what I can see, it's probably worth about the same or a little bit more than what I paid for it, or what my partner paid for it, but that's not the point on this one. It's just a nice watch. Next up, we've got the Omega Seamaster. I particularly went after this model. This is like the Bond, the wavy dial. You can catch the light there, you can see the wavy dial. I really like this model because the model before had shorter hands, and it didn't look right to me. This particular model with the red Seamaster, just Omega at the top, and then the 3 lines of text down here. This was just the perfect model for me. It's a quartz, which means although it's a vintage watch, it's super reliable, and I can actually maintain this myself. I can replace the seals and change the battery myself on this, so there's no on cost, unlike if I bought the same era. This is quite old now, this watch, but if I bought the same era, a mechanical version, it's going to cost a lot of money to upkeep, and when you've got a large collection, you don't want to be having watches that just sort of die and you can't afford to get running again and serviced. So this was the perfect one for me. I like the second hand with the little red tip on it, and I love the bezel. It's just a beautiful watch. 300 meter diver, really nice bracelet. This has got the smaller helium escape valve, unlike the originals. Really nice bracelet on it. Lacking a bit of micro adjust on the bracelet, but this wears really nicely. I would say, if anything, on a hot day it gets a little bit tight, but it's got the diver's extension, you can release it, but on a hot day it's just a tad tight on me, just a tad. But on a cold day or a cooler weather, it wears absolutely perfectly. I love it because it's lovely and thin, and again, I'll come back to this, I keep saying it, it's just just wears so comfortably. Really, really, really like this one. I got it on a good deal second hand. I paid, you know, about market price for it, but it's in absolutely stunning condition. All box papers, the lot, you know, everything's right about it. It's just perfect. Don't often see them in this condition at this age. So on to the final and most recent watch in my collection, my Grail watch. Not to everyone's cup of tea as a Grail watch goes. I mean, I know the Tudor Black Bay 58s and obviously Rolex Submariners and GMTs are really popular, but this is the watch that I've lusted after for a long time. And yeah, I finally got an opportunity to get it. I got a good deal on it. Some interest-free credit helped out, but it's a watch that I bought actually sight unseen. I'd never worn one, I'd never handled one, I'd never seen one in the flesh. I've only ever seen it on videos, pictures, in films. The first time I saw it was Apollo 13 film where they were timing the 13.8 second fuel burn, and you know, I've liked it ever since. And it's just, I love the design. I love the black and white dial. It's really legible. It's simple. Some people might say it's outdated because of the acrylic crystal and the Lamagna sort of hand wind movement, but to me it's sort of more true to the original than a lot of sort of recreations. I don't know how long Omega are going to continue this model, which I think, as I say, is probably the most faithful one to the original. And yeah, I just love it. It's I love the looks of it, the twisted lugs, and the case finishing is superb. You know, all the detailing on the back, the you know, the first watch worn on the moon, and flight qualified by NASA for all manned space missions, you know, that kind of thing. It's got a really nice clasp. Again, we're lacking micro adjust, only 2 micro adjust. This one on me actually wears how I like to wear. Now, I do wear my steel watches a little bit loose. That's why, as I said, the Seamaster is perfect when it's cold, but when it's hot, it's ever so slightly tight. It's not unwearable. I still wear it, but you know, this is just about perfect for me because it's nice and loose. It's got that sort of kind of, it hangs sometimes. You see it hanging off the side slightly, and it just looks casual. And I really like the feel of it. And I quite often wear my watch sort of low down on the wrist as well, but it'll also sit up here. And yeah, when I'm warm, it just tightens up a little bit, but it's absolutely fine. It's just about perfect, this one. So I'm quite lucky that it's okay. I mean, you could put it on a decent leather strap. A nice rally strap would look good on this, actually. Perhaps a brown rally strap, something like that would look good. Maybe even burgundy, something like that. But I like the steel bracelet. I've only got a couple of watches with steel bracelets, so let's just engage that. It's awkward. It's just such a satisfying pop when you engage the chronograph, and again when you stop it and then reset it, everything about it is satisfying. But I wouldn't say it's you know, when it comes to luxury watches, it's not the pinnacle, it's not particularly modern, but that's not what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted, and I absolutely love it. Since I bought it, I actually haven't taken it off. It's actually, no, I have taken it off. I took it off because it was absolutely peeing down with rain, and I went on the motorbike, and I only had my summer gloves, so no way I was going to wear it on the bike. Only 50 meters of water resistance with this one, so it's not a watch. It's not what I call a full-on sports watch that you're going to wear swimming and things like that. But if you happen to fall in a river, then you're probably going to be okay for a short period of time. So there you go. That's my collection. So just to wrap up. That's the state of my collection. I'm really happy with it. I know it's not to everyone's taste. When it comes to things like dress watches, I can wear either of the Omegas or the other chronographs. They work really well as dress watches. I've got beta watches. I've got the G-Shock. A couple of beta watches. I've got sporty watches like the Orca, and the field watch would be my Arnie. I've got just an everyday beta watch when I'm out working and stuff. I just use the Citizen Promaster Diver. You know, these watches, the key for me now is comfort, legibility, and a design that I really enjoy. And I obviously enjoy dive watches, it's clear to see, and dive style watches, but you know, I'm really enjoying the collection. It's not to everyone's taste, and I don't expect everyone else to sort of lust after these watches. It's a fairly modest collection. It's not Until recently, it wasn't that expensive. I mean, total value now, you're probably looking at around maybe 7 grand, around that kind of, and I know you can spend that on, I could ditch the whole lot and buy a beaten up old Rolex Submariner probably just about for that kind of money, but that's not for me. This is really the best my collection's ever been. I'm really happy with it at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. I haven't got too many watches, so I do get to wear them on a regular basis, and I wear them for a week, 2 weeks. The Steel Dive one there, the little £100 watch, I've worn that for 2 weeks solid since I've got it. I'll now be wearing the Omega for a couple of weeks, and if I'm doing stuff that I don't want to risk that, then I just pop one of the other watches on, and then next up on the rotation will be actually it's the Seamaster's turn, and then I just go around again. So I'm really enjoying wearing and having these watches. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Cheers. Bye.